All right, guys. So I was going through the PlayStation Store or the PlayStation Plus store looking for old Star Wars video games, and I came across Star Wars Bounty Hunters. Now, I played this game when it came out. It came out in like 2002. It was absolutely terrible. Like I'm sorry. Like I quit playing it. Like, to be honest, probably about 10 minutes into the game. I didn't even give it a chance. So, with that being said, though, I'm actually really I'm upset with myself, and I will tell you why. Because I was online looking up some content and like going through Reddit and like doing some research on different Star Wars games and how they're connected to the franchise and the movies and stuff like that. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew that the Bounty Hunters game was Jango Fett's story, right? But the game was so clunky and the controls were backwards and there was no way to fix it, and it was just not fun to play in that aspect, right? So I decided to go back and play it. And oh wow, I'm glad I did. So I didn't realize that this is how Count Dooku actually, let me back up before I get ahead. So I didn't realize how Jango Fett was chosen, right, to be cloned. And, sorry guys, yes, I am a Star Wars fan, and you probably already knew this, but I didn't. So with that being said, Count Dooku came to Jango and essentially gave him, or wanted him to track down Komari Vosa. Most of you may or may not know who Komari Vosa is. She's from the extended universe. Just a really super fun fact about Komari Vosa, that is actually how Asajj Ventress got her lightsabers from Count Dooku. So they were actually Komari Vosas, and you can look that up. So I didn't know that either, to be honest. But back to the game itself, it has a lot of lore and a lot of like backstory on Jango Fett and like who he was and where he came from, and then the other Mandalorian that he is essentially, in contest with in the game is Montrose. And if you don't know who that is, that's another Mandalorian that fought alongside Jango Fett during the Mandalorian Civil War. So, and left Jango for dead. So like there's a lot of like story there, and there's a lot of like, different emotions going on throughout the whole thing. It also explains how Jango Fett got the Slave One, the ship, the most iconic ship for Boba Fett later on, so, and also like how and why, for the most part, it's alluded to, it's not really said, but like why he chose to keep a clone for himself, which was Boba Fett, one of the most iconic Mandalorian or semi-Mandalorian character. I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. I mean, Boba Fett was never raised as a Mandalorian. But with that being said, the game actually tells a huge story between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. The timeline, everything. So if you guys have not played this, you guys should totally check it out. It's worth your time, fight through the frustration of the controls, but the story is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's worth your time. It's actually free on the PlayStation Network if you are a Plus member. You can just stream it. So, and that's what I did. It's not a very long game. It doesn't take that long to play. It's only like, I think 6 chapters is all it was. But it's kind of fun. You get to play as a Mandalorian. You get to use your scanner to essentially mark your bounties and all of that and get credits. It's really cool. I really feel like they should redo that game, because I feel like a lot of Star Wars gaming fans would play it 100%, or give us something new that's similar to it. So with that being said, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to start kind of going back and playing some of these old games and talking about some of the connections and things like that with canon or on screen, or even the comic books. It was kind of cool to see like the EU get pulled into regular on-screen Star Wars, which was really cool. So, because I love the EU. So, with that being said, and I also love the prequels, you know. But this game was worth it. It really was. But if you guys have played this game, you know, and you have anything to say it in the comments, guys. Let's have a conversation about this. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, you know, and may the force be with you.